record?
Yes.
Yep, okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm calling to order the City of West Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for September 4th, 2024. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the Special Magistrate presiding over today's hearing. It's a little after 9 o'clock. Please silence your cell phones if you have one on you so that they don't interrupt our proceedings. That'll be appreciated. If you're going to be speaking to me today about any of the items on our agenda, your testimony does need to be under oath, so I need to swear everybody in, whether that's city staff or respondents who came based on a notice you got. If you'll please stand, raise your right hands, I'll swear everybody in together. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony at today's hearings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, sir. Thank you. You can all have a seat. When your case is called, for folks who are here for a case, if you will come up to the podium that's over to my right, and that's where I'll be able to hear you and where you'll be able to tell me about the case. For each case that we call, I'm going to hear from the city first. City's code enforcement officers or other staff will likely present testimony regarding the alleged violation. There may be photographs which are shown on the monitors that you'll have an opportunity to see. Once the city's concluded its presentation and made any recommendations to me regarding how it believes the case should be handled, I'll then come over to you. It'll be your opportunity. If you have questions to ask city's witnesses, you may do so. If you do not, you can simply tell me about the case from your point of view. In the event that you brought any additional documents or additional photographs that you would like me to consider, that will be the time to produce those. I'll ask you to show them to the city's code enforcement officer first, and then I'll take a look at them. Once I've heard everything from you and from the city on the case, in all likelihood today I will enter an order that resolves the matter. And with those explanations on the record, let's go ahead and call the first case that we're going to hear today.
First case number 3338 Palmetto Street, CEBLD 2405050, number 3338 Palmetto Street.
Hi, good morning. My name is Kevin Pennington, Building Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. The code case is CEBLD 2405080. The address where the violation occurred is 338 Palmetto Street. The violation I observed was interior and exterior renovations. I issued the violation and stop work order on the job May 29th, 2024. The notice of violation was mailed via certified mail and regular mail on August 12, 2024. It was posted at the City Hall, August 12, 2024. It was posted on the property on August 8th, 2024. Certified mail was returned to sender August 22nd, 2024. To support my observations for each violation are that I witnessed workers on site, construction waste in dumpster, kitchen and bathroom remodeling with change of footprint, new electrical relocations, new window modifications, new structural masonry work. The pictures being shown truthfully and accurately depict the alleged violation and reflect what I am testifying to. The permits and inspections are required for the work I observed and for what is displayed in the pictures shown. Permits have been applied for August 30th, 2024. Permits have not been issued. Inspections have not been performed. Included in my file is a copy of the notice of violation and the affidavit of posting. I have had contact with the owner's representative. The results of the contact was they was unaware of a permit needed for the change of the footprint, remodeling of the kitchen and bathrooms. The city recommends 90 days to comply and $50 a day after that. The time to bring the alleged violations into compliance is a reasonable amount of time. I'm submitting the evidence, a copy of the case file, including documents relied upon.
Great, good morning.
Good morning.
Awesome. And you stated 90 days is reasonable, and the application was submitted on the 30th?
Yes.
Do you know the time frame for those permits to be issued between the 30th and the 90 days? You're saying that's reasonable, correct?
Yes, if everything is put together in an orderly manner, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, if
Okay.
it just passes through in plan review.
Okay, great. Nothing further, Special Magistrate, we're requesting at this time for the building inspector's testimony, the photographs, and the case file to be submitted as evidence into the record, please.
Thank you. The record will include those documents. Good morning, ma'am. If you could tell me your
Morning.
name and address, and then you can, the floor will be yours to
Yeah,
proceed.
my name is Flora Garber, and the address is 338 Palmetto Street, West Palm Beach,
Yes, ma'am.
33405. So the permits have been pulled for the windows and doors, and they are in the system, so I don't understand why it says that there's no permits for the exterior. So there were permits pulled for the roof and permits pulled for the windows and doors. That's for sure, and we confirmed that, and that's in the system. In regards to the interior, we did the, I guess, facelift. The homeowner has changed hands twice, and the property has been remodeled. Before we stepped in, it was fully remodeled, and there's, on Realtor.com or Zillow, you could see the pictures of the original before we stepped in. We did change the cabinets, bottom cabinets, doors on the kitchen. There were some footprints changed, but not to a point where it would need, at least not that I knew that we would need to pull permits. We did take care of it. We did have an architect come in, draw up the plans. So everything was submitted. I just need to, from here, have to go and pay the $176 that was just issued, that we needed to pay to push those permits through. But everything else has been the same way since we stepped in several months ago. The dumpster, it was permitted, the dumpster that was there, they pulled permits to put the dumpster there, so there was a dumpster there that was allowed to be there. And just the things that we needed to permit, we're taking care of right now. And, yeah. I think, right, I remember that one. So, that's it. I have nothing else except we are pulling permits on the kitchen. And I think there was, I don't even remember, I'm actually coming in for the homeowner, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Question to the city. Has everything that needs a permit been applied for? Have all the permits that are necessary been applied for? I understand you said that permits haven't been issued yet, but is everything?
To the best of my knowledge, yeah, I believe so. The scope of work may be different, but
And have any of them been approved and issued at this point, or are they all still in plan review?
they're going to plan review.
Okay. So everything's been applied for, everything is still under review. For the compliance in 90 days, is the city's position, I want to know what compliance means. Does that mean the permits have been issued and we're under the permits, or does that mean all the work has also been done and inspected and the permit's closed out?
No, the permits has not been issued.
No, I understand,
Hasn't
but
been.
what does compliance mean for the city in this case? Like
Oh.
when if the building permits get issued and they pick them up and now they're working, is that compliance, or does the city require, are you saying you want the permits to be picked up, the work to be done, the inspections to be passed, and the permits to be closed out?
Yeah, the
for
permits to be
compliance?
closed out for compliance.
Okay. Ma'am, question for you. Do you have a sense, I want to ask this clearly, once the permit part of this is done, and do you have a sense for how much time the actual work is going to take to complete?
It should go fairly quick, within 30 days.
Okay,
I'm hoping, or less. I have a question,
yeah.
if I may. Mr. Kevin said that there's no permits for the windows, and I'm just a little bit confused, because when I spoke to you directly, we confirmed that there was permits for the windows and the roof. It was on the door, when you put your sticky on the door. So how come right now you're saying that there's no permits for the windows, unless they got lost somewhere in the system?
In the scope of the work of the windows, you modified the areas where there's 2 windows in the master bathroom. One was blocked up and one was reduced. That's
That-
why you see the fresh masonry work. So that's a structural issue, which is different to a window permit.
Okay. Okay, so to our knowledge, so when we stepped in, there was plywood on those areas. There was we did not modify anything, so I would not be able to speak on that behalf. So I know there was windows there. Like I said, the house was rebuilt 2 years ago before it was bought by the present homeowner, and there was plywood, and we have pictures. I didn't know I needed to bring pictures with plywood on the thing, so we didn't think we needed to hide what was there. Nobody's hiding anything, so that's why I'm just confused with the windows and the permits. Okay, thanks for clarifying it.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me?
No, so, actually, since I'm doing this for the owner, what's my next step? To pay the payment that's due, and then,
Well, I'm going to enter an order here today for the code enforcement piece of this.
Okay.
Property owner is going to need to stay in touch with the building department, and when the permits are ready to be picked up, they need to pick them up and pay whatever fees there are. If there are comments on those permit applications, they're going to need to answer those, and then get the work done, and then get it inspected. And once the inspections are passed, that should take care of everything. But is there anything else from the city? All right. So in this case, I will find proper notice with the certified mail that was returned and then the posting following that. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I am going to find the property remains in violation of the codes as cited. I'm going to do a little more time than 90 days. I'm going to say January 8th of 2025, which is about 120 days to bring the property into compliance.
thank you.
And however, I will assess daily fines of $50 per day after January 8th until if compliance is not achieved at that point. And you'll get a copy of that, or they'll get a copy of that order. And like I said, I think that's their next steps, is to get the building permits and then get the work done.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you.
Next case number 4309 Edgewood Drive, CE 230302668, number 4309 Edgewood Drive.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Joe Valdez, Building Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. The case we have now on before us is CE 230302668, and the address, as was noted earlier, 309 Edgewood Drive. The violation was for new windows and a front door and a front porch area in a historic district house. I issued the violation on March 11th, 2023. The notice of violation was certified mailed on 8/16/2024, posted at City Hall at 8/16/2024 also, was posted on the property at 8/20, on 8/20/2024. Certified mailed was delivered on 8/20/24. As I stated, my observations were installing new windows and doors in a front porch area without required permits and inspections. The pictures do depict correctly what I allege to have seen and what I'm testifying to. Permits have been applied for, but have not been issued because they went and tried. I've been in contact with the homeowners. They have tried to get the permits, but it needed to go in front of the historic board, and I think it failed.
I was gonna ask, I thought I saw on the red tag that this was in the historic district.
Yes.
So that adds a little
So,
more,
Yeah,
another layer,
so
doesn't it?
it has failed. Meanwhile, they have decided now, I spoke to them about a week ago to sell the house, so it's in the process of being sold. So they asked me, and I spoke to them, we agreed if I could give them 30 days to remove what the work they have done and bring the house into compliance with its original state or form that it was before. And I said I agreed to that, but I would have to, 30 days, and after that, fines would start incurring. So
So the recommended fine amount?
the fines, the amount
What amount's the city recommending on the daily? fines?
recommended $50.
Okay.
So, and I think we both agreed on the time, the 30 days, so
Okay.
it was, he saw it as fair, I saw it as fair. So at this point, that's where we're at.
Okay, great, thank you. And just for clarity for the record, you have been in contact with the property owner,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know if why the property owner isn't here today?
I
you-
do not know. I
okay.
send them an email notifying them of the date and they know.
Along with
if
the
there was-
notices you have testified as
yes.
providing, okay. And you're stating that though they're not here, you spoke with them and
Mhm.
they're in agreement with the 30 days, and,
Yes,
okay, thank you,
Yes.
and you believe that's reasonable?
I think it is. I mean, if they were putting something new, it would not be reasonable. If they're taking something down, I think it is.
Okay, great, thank you. At this time, Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the inspector's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into evidence, barring any objections.
Yeah, yes, those documents are part of the record. The respondent is not present, however, the city has proper notice with the certified mail. I want to make sure I'm understanding, so it is the intent, based on your conversations with the current property owner, that they're going to unwind everything they did, put it back, sell the property, and then a new owner will do whatever it does. But by putting it back, that will comply.
That would comply, yeah.
And 30 days was discussed, and everybody's in agreement with that?
He agreed with that. He said, if you can give me 30 days, and I said, I will give you 30 days.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
No,
Not
not
from
at
me.
this time.
Then I find proper notice with the certified mail in this case, based on the testimony and the evidence. If property remains in violation as cited, I will allow 30 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
Okay.
Next case number 26-919 34th Street, CE 2407-2315, number 26-919 34th Street.
Hey, good morning. Donald Lattimore, currently employed with the City of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. While on patrol, I saw a property lacking landscape maintenance. I initiated my investigation on July 18th, 2024, at the property located at 919 34th Street. This property is occupied. There I observed the following violations: 18-106-K, which is the landscape maintenance, and a repeat code violation, 26-35-B as in boy. For the record, the repeat case that's associated with this violation is CE 23040230. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified and regular mail on July 23rd, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation on the property and City Hall on July 25th, 2024. I completed an affidavit of posting on July 25th, 2024 as well, and it is in this case file. I revisited the property on August 28th, 2024, and observed the property to be in compliance with Code Section 18-106-K. I made contact with the tenant of the property on July 25th, 2024, while posting the notice of violation at the property. The tenant and I discussed the code violation, how to comply them. I also explained the repeat violation and the need to comply all violations as soon as possible. During that time frame, the owner, who is present, reached out to me and we worked to get the property taken care of. For the repeat violation, I explained in the repeat violation and that the city will be requesting a $200 fine during this hearing due to the repeat violation. I took the photographs at the initial investigation, and when I revisited the property, the following photograph shows the violation is now in compliance. The photograph accurately and truthfully showed that the violation I observed during my investigation. With that being said, the city is asking for a $200 fine due to the repeat violation and nothing further.
Morning, great, thank you. And so the $200, just for clarity, is a one-time fine, correct?
Yes, it's a one-time fine. If you look at the compliance photo, I do believe that the property owner, I immediately watched everyone go to work to transform the yard, which include pulling out some of the old trees, putting new trees, new mulch. They really worked hard on it. I believe that it would have been done a lot faster had they would have just done the bare minimum, but it took them some time. So with that being said, a one-time fine of $200, which he does understand the repeat violation moving forward.
Okay.
Yep.
Great, thank you. Nothing further. We're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into evidence, barring any objection at this time.
Those documents and the testimony are part of the record. Good morning, sir. If you can tell me your name and address, and then the floor will be yours to tell me about what's going on with the case.
Good morning. My name is Damon Montgomery. The address is 919 34th Street, West Palm Beach, 33407. Yes, it is a repeat violation. When I first had to do the yard cleanup, we planted a number of palm trees there, of which the tenant felt uncomfortable because she said it created too much privacy and that somebody could come in and potentially break in. So we moved some of the palm trees away, out back. The tenant had told me that she would go ahead and take care of the yard. She became sick and was not able to. That's when we got the second violation. After that, we went to work to clean up the yard.
Okay. Thank you. Question for the city. When did the underlying case that makes this a repeat come into compliance?
Sure. It was an older case. It was heard in June 7th, 2023, and within 30 days from that date, it came into compliance.
Okay, and then how many days was this one, the current case, in repeat violation?
So this current case was in a repeat violation for starting on July 18th, 2024, up until the 28th of August, which will push that over roughly 1 month.
Okay. All right, anything else from the city?
No, that'll be all.
Thank you. Anything else you'd like to tell me, sir?
No.
All right. City has proper notice. Respondent is present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, find that the property today is in compliance, but was in violation of City Code 18106K between July 18th and August 28th. I find that violation was a repeat violation based on the 2023 case number that was entered into the record by the city. I will accept the city's recommendation in this case and impose a one-time $200 fine. Is there a time frame that the city wants that to be paid within?
I didn't think about that. One moment, please. You guys have a time frame?
I can pay that today.
Okay, great.
There
Thank
it
you for
is.
that
Thank you.
answer.
Or you're going to pay it today? We'll put 30 days in the order, but by all means, if you can pay it today, that's great. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 18, 6605 66th Way, CE 24072265. Number 18, 6605 66th Way.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On July 11th, while conducting a rental inspection on the property located at 6605 66th Way, I observed violations on the property, work done without permit. I issued a notice of violation for 105-1, failure to obtain permits, 22-32-A, certificate of use, and 22-441, rental license violation. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted August 26th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent out July 11th. Certified mail was signed for August 28th. I have been in contact with the property owner. I've outlined that the shower enclosure is not the original shower enclosure and it needs to be permitted. With that being said, city's recommending 90 days to obtain the permit for the shower enclosure. This will trigger a compliance with the rental license violation and certificate of use. If this is not obtained within the 90 days, city is recommending $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you. And you're saying, how do you know the property is rented?
Because I was there conducting a rental inspection.
And you spoke with the tenant,
The owner,
the owner, who
Yes, ma'am.
admits that it's been being
they're
rented?
applying for a rental license to rent out the property, yes.
Okay, great. And the photographs taken, did you take those photographs or did you get those online?
No, ma'am, I took those photographs myself.
Okay. And those truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe 90 days is a reasonable time to secure the permit?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember if you testified. Has the permit been applied for?
No, not to
No,
my
not at
knowledge.
this time? Okay, but 90 days is reasonable.
It should, if they start getting applying on it now.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into the record as evidence, barring any objections at this time.
Thank you. The officer's testimony and the city's case file, including photographs, are part of the record. Good morning, ma'am. If you could tell me your name and address, and then the floor will be yours.
Good morning. My name is Denise Adviento Gonzalez Menard. The address is 6605 66 Way, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33409.
Yes, ma'am.
So I purchased a townhome back in December 2018. All of the work had already been done. I purchased it in good faith. I did not know if the work, was permitted or needed to be permitted. So when it was time to rent it out, we went through HOA, we did the certificate of use application, and then that's when he said that the shower needed to be permitted. So we've been in contact with many contractors to see if they could apply for a permit, and we found one that said he would do it, but then we needed an architect and an engineer to draw up the plans. And the ones that we've been in contact with wanted the original floor plan of the townhome. I made a public records request online, like back in August 20th. Took maybe about a week. On the 27th, they did not have what we needed. All that was sent to me was a bunch of roofing permits and requests that were done. So we're still kind of in limbo, trying to find an architect or engineer to draw up the plans, I guess, without the original one. I guess, have been hesitant because the work had already been done, and I guess it's a whole liability thing. So that's why haven't been able to apply for a permit yet.
City's recommending 3 more months. Are you of a mind that that should be enough time, or based on what you've worked on so far, do you think?
I'm not really sure. I mean,
Okay.
everything is so new to us. You know, we would apply if everything was okay, you know, hopefully it is within the 90 days. It's just finding the person to do it.
Well, I think what, okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me?
I don't.
Anything else from the city?
If I may, a special magistrate, just to make an inquiry, you stated you did a public records request. Was it through the city or through the county that you did?
Through the city of West Palm Beach, the EPL.
Oh, through us? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further
Okay.
from me. I don't know if Mr. McFarland.
Anything else, Mr. McFarland?
Seeing their ordeal, the city would be open to 120 days on the
That's what
permit.
I'm thinking on
Yeah.
this one, yeah.
It's like a lot of hoops they're jumping through there.
Yep. Anything else, ma'am, that you'd like to tell me? Okay. Well, city has proper notice in this case with the signed certified mail. Respondent is present at today's hearing. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find the property is in violation as cited. I'm going to set the compliance date for January 8th, 2025, which is like 4 months. That should optimistically be enough time for you to get over these issues. Let me just say, the only thing I would tell you in addition is stay in touch with Mr. McFarland. If you're getting close to that date and you need more time, ask for an opportunity to come ask for it, and I'll be happy to hear that and see what's going on. But it seems to me that the 4 months should be enough time to get over these issues. After January 8th, if the property is not in compliance and no extensions have been granted, I will accept the city's recommendation and assess daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved. And you'll get a copy of that order. Okay? Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next case, number 213810, Australian Court, CE 24072371, number 213810, Australian Court.
Morning.
Morning. KT
Morning.
Weaver, Code Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. While riding through my zone, I observed several violations at 3810 Australian Court. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation, citing the following violations. The property was cited for 18106A, clean and sanitary, which has been complied, 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view, which has been complied, 74-4-C-1, trimming of the trees from off of the structure, which has been complied, 94-302-A-4, fence maintenance, which has been complied, 94-71-C, outdoor storage, which has been complied, 18106B, excessive growth, 18106G, painting or touching up paint on the structure, and 7894-C, swells and parkways, seed or sod, and maintain. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on August the 16th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on August the 15th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on August the 5th and certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on September the 3rd of 2024 and observed the property still in violations of 18106B, 18106G, and 78-94C. Reinspection photos were taken on September the 3rd, showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with the current property owner. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Tell me how many days for compliance?
30 days.
30, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And you believe the 30 days is a reasonable time to get the 3 outstanding violations into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you took those photographs personally, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And they truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed today?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. At this time, Special Magistrate, we're asking for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file to be admitted into evidence into the record, please.
All right, yes, the testimony in the city's file, including photographs, are part of the record. Good morning, ma'am. If you could tell me your name and address, then the floor will be yours to tell me about the case.
Okay. My name is Janice Hamilton, 3810 Australian Court is the address.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just bought that property like 2 months ago or less, and it was loaded with, I bought it without looking, because it was one of those wholesale, resale, whatever. And when I got there, like the officer said, it was loaded with violation. So we started working from the back, and we took tons and tons out of garbage and all kind of stuff. But what she said, now I'm not so quite sure what needs to be done, but we did I would say we did a lot of what was on this paper. So if you could just repeat for me what needs to be done. I know the painting. We need to do the painting, but because of the rain, the painter comes out every day and he said, I can't do it because of the rain. So in my mind, I feel that it's only the painting that we have to do. But you said like 3 things?
Yes, ma'am. The painting, as we discussed over the phone, the yard is beginning to grow up again.
Yes.
And I know the rain contributes to that.
Yes, ma'am.
But keeping it cut, not just cut, but edged, they have to do proper edging and
Okay.
trimming, not just on the side,
On the
both
side.
sides of sidewalks, and also on the roadway.
Okay.
That needs to be done. And then there are some bare areas in the side, on the parkway, and throughout that end of the yard that needs to be filled in.
Okay.
So you can do it, via seed or sod. That's up
Okay.
to you, but that's what's remaining.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so how long do I have to, I think I need more time for that because waiting on the painting, I could do the seeds and stuff and the cutting, but the painting is all based on the weather. Because he said he can't paint it when it's raining.
Did he tell you how long it would take him to paint it?
No, he said if he gets a good day, it could be done in that one day, like 4 or 5 hours. If we get a day that doesn't rain, that the morning start out nice, and he could do it within 4 hours. He said because he uses a machine.
Right. Okay, I can't control the weather. I think 30 days is good, but if not, I can give you
Fair
45
enough.
days. I'll give you 45 days.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
fair enough. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. The city will give you 45 days, I'm sorry.
I'm
But
sure
yes,
it will
ma'am,
be
and I'm
done
sure, once he's out there, it will look nice. But you guys have been doing a great job of keeping it up and getting it into compliance. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So the city is recommending 45 days to me. Do you think you can get it done in 45?
Oh, absolutely. I think we'll get a good day without the rains. But the others we can do at any time, but just the painting that's holding us back.
Well, I'm going to say the same thing to you I said to the young lady that was here either right before you or a couple cases. If
Yes, sir.
You're getting, so what I'm going to do is call that October 16th.
Okay, sir.
If you're getting close to that and, the rain just hasn't stopped and the painter, despite true best efforts, hasn't been able to get it done, stay in touch with the city, ask for an opportunity to come back and ask for additional time. I don't want to set this up for failure.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes, thank you
Is there
so
anything else
much.
you'd like to tell me?
No, thank you.
All right,
That's-
then, in this case, city has proper notice. Respondent is present. You have the certified mail that's signed in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of city codes 18106B, 7894C, And those have to do with the lawn maintenance and the bare patches of lawn in the swale area. And also 18106G, which is the city code that deals with the painting. I will find the property has complied with all other code sections that were cited in the original notice. We're going to set October 16th as the compliance deadline. Is this a rental property, ma'am?
I just got it. I was trying to resell, but I don't know if it's a rental. Oh, that's my next question that I was gonna call the city about. If I have to rent it, do I need a permit or any
I
such
think
thing?
there are permits and things, but are you renting it right now?
No, it's not. It's empty. It's being, painted and taken care of.
All right. Given the fact it's not being rented right now and you have made significant progress, there's 5 code sections that are already complied with. I'm going to set the daily fines at $50 per day after October 16th. So you want to make sure you get that,
Done.
hit that compliance date. Okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Number 15, 3113 Santa Margarita Road, CE 24072323. Number 15, 3113 Santa Margarita Road.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On July 22nd, I received a complaint in regards to 313 Santa Margarita Road for trees that were removed without permit. Once I received the photograph from the complainant, I cited the property for 94-448-D-1, tree alteration permit, 26-35-B, irreparable, 94-446-2-C, tree abuse, the tree being cut down, 94-442-C-1, landscape requiring sod for the bare portions depicted in the photographs. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted August 16th. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent July 24th. Certified mail was signed for August 27th. I have Ms. Harrell present to testify to the photographs.
Good morning. My name is Loitavian Harrell. I'm here in my personal capacity as a homeowner at Water's Edge at Briar Bay, which is the homeowners association where the subject property is located. I took the photos in question on May 26th and May 30th of this year.
Thank you. And the photographs truthfully and accurately depict what you observed as to the tree being cut as well as the open area of the tree being removed?
Absolutely.
Okay. And did you witness the trees being present prior?
Yes, I have lived in the neighborhood for about 8 years, and I walk and bike the neighborhood regularly, and I was appalled and shocked when I saw the removal of the tree from this property. So I took the pictures on those 2 different occasions. The first occasion just to note that the tree had been removed. The second occasion to note that there was no evidence of any nuisance being created by the tree in connection with this removal.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
With that being said, for the irreparable, city is requesting a one-time fine of $250. And for the tree alteration permit, city is requesting 90 days to obtain the permit. And for the abuse and the sodding, city is recommending 120 days to have that complied. If it's not in compliance, city is recommending $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you. Regarding the tree altercation, you said 90 days. What's the fine amount you're requesting?
It would be the
If not
same.
comply- Same?
Yes.
$100? Okay, great, thanks.
But they are in conjunction on working and getting the permit. It has been applied for.
Okay,
So it's going through the process. So I don't see why it shouldn't be snagged.
and the property owner, to your knowledge, is
Yes,
present today?
yes, ma'am. We'll be in contact.
Thank you. And at this point, Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the code enforcement officer, as well as the photographs that was testified to previously by the homeowners association and another property owner, be accepted into evidence, into the record, as well as the case file, please.
The testimony that I've heard in the city's file, including photographs and other documents, are part of the record. I want to be right with you, ma'am. I'm not clear on a couple things. So the removal of the tree, the city is that is 94-446-2C.
That's it. No, the abuse is for the cutting of the tree, for bringing it down. Yes, the removal.
Okay. So the tree was completely removed, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess maybe the best way, if you can just go through tell me what the violations are for each code section, because I understand the tree was removed, it was removed without a permit.
Correct.
The city is arguing that that is an irreparable and irreversible violation.
Yeah, due to the cutting of the tree, yes.
But I'm not clear on the distinction between tree abuse, tree removal, what requires a permit, and then all your compliance deadlines. I'm not clear on what you're asking, on what each violation is, and then what you're asking for.
Okay. For the tree alteration permit, of course, to pull the permit within 90 days. The irreversible is the one-time fine for cutting of the tree. The tree abuse is just cutting of the tree, period, as well. And the landscape requiring grasses for the patchy areas that were depicted in the photographs. So the city's requesting the one-time fine for the irreparable. Now, to comply the tree abuse, that would need replacement of the tree, would be a part of the tree alteration permit, because the tree alteration permit is going to require that the tree be replaced. So by obtaining that tree alteration permit and replacing the tree, it will comply the abuse, and they will need to fill in the sodded areas as well, and that would comply that as well. So by obtaining the permit, it's all going to move to comply everything else.
Is the landscaped area must be grass, is this area I'm looking at right here, and is
No,
that?
there's another patchy portion near the driveway.
So it's not just where the tree stump was, there's other areas.
Yeah, there's other areas, yes.
And on that
Right
one,
there, there it is. That's the portion.
okay, and the recommended relief for that violation is 90 days
Yes, 90 days for that as well.
or $100 per day?
$100 per day.
Okay. The violation of 94-446-2C, which is called tree abuse, is that the removal of the tree?
For removal of the tree and requesting replacement of the tree as well. But by
Okay.
obtaining the alteration permits is going to require replacement of the tree as well. So by
So, yeah,
obtaining the permit and working through the permit, it will comply all the other violations.
So,
But I'm including it to ensure that the tree does get replaced.
so let me ask this. Had the property owner come to the city and applied for a permit to remove the tree, could that have been granted, and then we wouldn't be here or?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, we
so the tree could be removed if it was
If it was
permitted in advance?
permitted, because the permit will require parameters for the tree to be replaced, where it should be replaced, what type of tree to replace it with, all that good stuff.
Does the obtaining the permit after the fact, does that require a replacement or any type of?
The permit is going to require replacement, yes. Because, like I said, the permit is going to outline and it's going to request that the tree is replaced. So by obtaining the permit, it's going to comply a lot of the violations once the tree has been installed.
So it's sort of like doing work on a building without a building permit.
Same
Just that you need
effect.
to get the permit, and it needs to be processed through the system, and then the removal of the tree is taken care of in terms
Right.
of paperwork.
Correct.
So, and you're asking for 90 days to pull that permit as well?
Correct.
Okay.
And 120 days to have the tree installed as well.
Well, hang on, so 90 days.
90 days to obtain the permit.
90 days to get the tree alteration
Correct.
permit and fix the sod areas.
Correct.
If 90 days comes and goes and that's not done, the city's recommending a daily fines of $100 per day.
Correct.
Okay. In addition, the city is recommending a one-time $250 fine for the irreparable and irreversible nature of the removal of this particular tree.
Correct.
All right. Does that cover it?
Yes, sir.
I got it. Okay. Okay. Yes, ma'am. If you could tell me your name and address, and then the floor is yours to ask more questions or tell me about what's going on.
My name is Audrey Wilson, and my address is 3113 Santa Margarita Road, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33411.
Yes, ma'am.
I bought this property. I'm the original owner. I bought the property pre-construction. I closed on the property January 14th, 2005. And when I bought this property, of course, the builder submit plans to West Palm Beach for the landscaping. And what I learned, because I want this court to know that I did went after and I got an arborist report. And also from my research, the tree that I removed, it is called a mahogany tree. And this tree has created an enormous problem in our community. As a matter of fact, I found out last week from a meeting, from an HOA meeting, that our HOA presently has an open permit to remove those trees from common area. And that permit number is 190-40194. Now, this particular tree should not, in the first place, been planted less than 3 feet from my mailbox. And by the way, the area that the code enforcement officer showed that needs to be replanted, that is a result of me cutting out, well, not me personally, but have somebody remove some of the roots that start going under my driveway. That particular tree also, my neighbor next door to me don't talk to me because the roots end up into his water line. Cost him, I think he said, it was just under $500 to remove the roots. So presently, that tree presently is a problem. The tree should not have been planted where it is. According to the University of Florida Agricultural Department, mahogany and oak trees should not have been planted no closer than 20 feet from any permanent structure. And also the arborist report also back the issue that these trees presents. So I am going to say, no, I should not have to pay a fine for a tree that should not have been permitted to plant there in the first place. Now, I didn't know that I needed to get a permit to remove the tree because I consulted with Florida Statute 163.045, which state that if a tree possesses medium risk, if you have a report, well, after, I thought I needed to get a landscape architect to remove the tree. So I consulted and I paid a company license, and they removed the tree. And then after they removed the tree, I went to my HOA meeting, and the person who reported me is actually the vice president of our HOA meeting, of our HOA, sorry. And she apparently, she called me out on it, and I told her, she knew the tree is creating a problem. I mean, we have sidewalks that are right now, every year we have to spend money to basically grind down sidewalks that these trees are creating, not only a financial risk to us, but also a safety issue. And I was shocked when I found out, well, I knew it was her. The moment I got the moment I got the report, I knew it was our vice president. And she actually should be looking out and guiding us. I just wish she had come to us and said, listen, moving forward, we know these trees are an issue. The builder should have never planted these trees. We live on zero lot line property. I only have one side. We live on zero lot line, so we only have basically one side. And again, if you look carefully, that tree is planted less than 3 feet from my mailbox. And in the past, I have removed some of the roots from the tree, but now the trees it's going on the utility, it's growing into the utility lines, it's popping up my driveway. And again, I don't understand how today, if that builder applied for a permit, I doubt if you guys would have given the builder a permit to plant that tree. Because I went online, I look up the characteristics of mahogany trees. It should never have been planted there. It needed a wider area. And I intend to replace it. I have given, a few choices of native trees that I could use. And by the way, the picture that you guys are looking at, that's not how it is today. It's all grown in. The grass have all grown in. And that stump is not there. It was grinded out like a couple weeks after that. So this picture does not represent a true picture of what is there today. So I'm asking the court to waive that $250 fine because that tree should have never been planted there in the first place. And why is it that I, as the homeowner, have to now bear the brunt of almost 20 years of, evidence of what the tree has become when the city, the builder, the landscape architecture, whoever, plant this tree or approve the planting of this tree, if they had read like how I read and see that mahogany trees should have never been planted so close to the road.
First question for you. You mentioned during your testimony the state statute that prohibits a local government from requiring a application or permit to remove a tree under certain circumstances. Do you have documentation from an arborist that indicates?
Yes, sir, I do.
And is that that indicates the tree poses an unacceptable risk to persons or property? Is that what? So why don't you show that to the city and then I'll take a look at that. Let's start there.
May I have the site of the statute, 163.45?
And did the arborist come out to the property and do an on-site inspection?
No, luckily, those pictures were taken a week before I cut it. Apparently, the pictures that I sent to him, the company that I hired, they wanted me to send them pictures of the tree first before he come.
No, let me.
So
I don't think you understand. Let me ask the arborist that wrote the report. Did he come out and look at the tree on the property?
No, but he had pictures. I sent him enough pictures.
Okay. Is this the same document that's on?
Yes, that's the same document attached to the case as well.
Is this the same thing that,
Yes.
okay.
Mr. McFarland, do you mind presenting to the special magistrate? Thank you.
Okay, so, thanks. All right. So this is already in the record.
Yes, sir.
All right, I do want to hear the city's position on the applicability of the state statute that we're talking about, 163045.
Yes, Special Magistrate, it says, and I'll just read, a local, which everyone has alluded to, a local government may not require a notice, application, approval, permit, fee, or mitigation for pruning, trimming, or removal of a tree on a residential property if the property owner possesses documentation from an arborist certified by the ISA or the Florida licensed landscape architect that the tree possesses an unacceptable risk to persons or property. At this point in time, I think the report was done after the fact, is my understanding, that the tree was already removed.
I had pictures of the tree.
If I may?
Pardon?
I'm not asking a question.
You'll get your chance, ma'am.
Right, if I may,
City
just
right now.
continue. The city's position is that this statute applies in the event that the homeowner is being required to remove, and then this evidence of the report is presented, that the city then would be precluded from requiring or requiring the permit and or allowing the tree to removed. It seems that this is being done after the fact and without actual evidence that this was done by photographs or just the homeowner stating this, and not necessarily actual evidence or the report being conducted in the manner prescribed by the statute. So that would be the city's position.
Thank you. All right. Yes, ma'am. You can go ahead now.
I mean, what constitute evidence? I mean, I have pictures on my phone with the date and the time of when those pictures were taken. Should I present them into evidence to show as proof? I mean, the pictures represent the true state of the tree less than 2 weeks before it was removed.
Okay.
And also, I would like the court to take into consideration that this tree should have never been planted there in the first place. All of us as residents, all 164 homes, we're literally suffering with a tree that should have never been planted there, should never been approved in the first place.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me, ma'am?
Pardon?
Is there anything else you would like to tell me?
No, I want to thank you for your time.
Oh, you're very welcome. Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
All right. So housekeeping, city has proper notice. let's talk about the state statute 163045. I am of the opinion, and we'll find, under the circumstances in this case, I don't find that statute applies because, number one, under the statute, the definition of documentation requires an on-site assessment performed in accordance with best management practices by the arborist. So the testimony and the documentation that I have received establishes that the arborist, while there is a report that was submitted, arborist never conducted an on-site assessment. The assessment was done after the fact. It even indicates that in the report, one tree was removed. So it does talk about very clearly that this was done after the fact. So there was not an on-site assessment. Therefore, the documentation required to preempt the city from requiring a permit does not exist because it wasn't done prior to the tree removal. I agree with the city's argument on that. I do find that 163045 is not applicable in this situation. So I am going to find that the tree was removed without the required permit under the city code. Let me pull that back up. There we go. Tree alteration, and the code talks about a tree alteration permit being required to remove historic specimen or any other tree. And I actually have a question here for the city. Located on property subject to the provisions of this section. I need some what the city's interpretation, because under 94-448A, it talks about the intent of this section is to protect trees and vegetative cover within the city limits. Under B, it talks about no person other than the city shall remove trees from median parkway or city-owned property. So then C is the application process, and then D is the section that was cited. So I want you to clarify for me that this section also applies to private property, not just city-owned property.
And Special Magistrate, I apologize, 94-448. 448. I'm sorry, Mark, are you, 984, compliance.
Mr. McFarland, while the city attorney's looking at that, does the city taking a position that this is or is not an historic or specimen tree?
Excuse me?
Is the city's position, what's the city's position on whether this is an historic tree or a specimen tree? Is it or is it not?
It says any other tree.
No, I understand, I'm just, you're not arguing that it's historic or specimen
No.
in this case? Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
We have no evidence of that.
Oh, let me see, 94 tree.
Yeah, and I do see where it says any other tree. Subject to the provisions of this section, so that's where I'm asking for some clarity. That this doesn't just apply to city-owned property, that it applies to private property as well.
And that's 94-448D-1, where it says tree alterations permit, historic trees, specimen trees, and any other trees or vegetation located on property subject to the provisions of the section.
Right. That's my question.
Right. or the city's interpretation that private property is subject to the provision of the section, Special Magistrate, as we have regulated property owners, trees.
Yeah, I
Grass.
guess, I think it's under C, where it talks about application, and one of the things it talks about is any property containing permanent structures upon which no designated specimen or historic tree is located. So it seems like this is not an historic or specimen tree. There's a residence on the property.
Correct.
I think, okay, you got me there.
Thank you.
So that being said, you know, I also hear what Ms. Wilson is saying. I mean, in the language in the report, you know, this thing was planted in a utility easement. According to the report, it has caused damage to underground water pipes in the past. So, you know, I think you're right. I think it, you know, maybe it shouldn't have been put there.
It's the truth.
So, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna make the irreversible finding, and I'm not gonna assess the one-time $250 fine.
Thank you.
I am gonna find the violation of the other code sections and require you to get that permit within 90 days and get the sod fixed within 90 days. And if that's not accomplished, I will assess the daily fines. I'm going to do $50 per day, not $100 per day, but you do need to do that because the state statute does not prevent the city from imposing this permit requirement, and I think that needs to be taken care of. So I will do 90 days for that and for the landscaped areas to be repaired. And after that, daily fines of $50 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that was a complicated one, but appreciate everybody's patience. Do you want this back? This document is
you.
already in the record, so.
Yeah, I emailed it to the prospective.
We have it. He's
Yeah.
asking if you want it.
Yes,
back.
sir. Can I
You can
come
have
and
it
get
back because it's already in the record.
Can I come?
Yes, ma'am. There you are. You're welcome.
Okay, number 16, 3140 Santa Margarita Road, CE 24072322, number 16, 3140 Santa Margarita Road.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On July 22nd, I received a complaint from Ms. Harrell on the property at 3140 Santa Margarita Road. I then cited the property for 94-446-2-C, tree abuse, 94-448-D-1, tree alteration permit, and 26-35-B, irreversible. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted August 16th. Certified mail and regular mail was sent July 24th. Certified mail was signed for August 27th. I do have Ms. Harrell here to testify to the photographs that are depicted.
Good morning. My name is Loitavian Harrell. Once again, I'm here in my personal capacity as a homeowner at Water's Edge at Briar Bay, which is a homeowners association where the subject property is located. Yes, I did take the photos in question on February 12th and February 21st. Yes, ma'am.
City's requesting a one-time fine for the irreversible and irreparable of $250, 90 days to obtain the tree alteration permit, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved, and 120 days to install and comply the tree abuse by replacement of the tree. If that's not done within 120 days, it's recommending $100 a day until compliance is achieved. To be fair, city's requesting to strike the one-time fine of $250 due to the previous case that was heard.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, because she has already submitted the application for the permit, so it's going through the process.
Thank you.
You said it's already been applied for?
Yes, to my understanding, yes, sir.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting that the photographs, the testimony of the code enforcement officer, and the case file be admitted as evidence into the record, please.
Testimony, documents, including photographs in the city's file, are all part of the record in this case. Yes, ma'am, please tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about what's going on with this case.
My name is Kalpana Choksi, and the address is 3140 Santa Margarita Road, West Palm Beach, Florida. I mean, my situation is the same as hers. I mean, this tree was harmful too. It produces those big nuts, rock, like wooden nuts, and when it falls, you know, it breaks apart. I have stepped myself on it 3 times, and I hurt. Even my guest, you know, he got hurt too with those because of the big rocks. I mean nuts. It falls from the tree. So, I mean, I did this mistake of cutting it, removing it without permission, but the roots of the tree, it's like out and it's going onto the walkway, the footpath side. It was really harming us. So the mistake I made is without getting permit, I removed it. And it's the same situation as hers. And I mean, as she mentioned, and she did her research, these trees should not have been planted by builder. And not just us, a lot of other owners in the community, they all are complaining about the trees, the same tree. But anyway, I have already applied for the permit. I paid for the permit fee also. And I would appreciate if you can remove the fine for me as well.
We're waiving the fine, is my
Waiving the fine,
understanding.
yeah.
We've waived it. He's testified
Yeah, I
that
did
we're
testify to
waiving.
waive the fine, yes.
I don't have to pay $250
No.
fine. Okay. And I have already applied for the permit. So what will be my next step?
Okay, just a moment. I have a couple of questions.
Certainly.
2 questions. It does not appear that there's an arborist report associated with this particular tree?
No.
Okay. And this is not an historic or specimen tree either? It's just
No, sir.
just a tree?
Just a tree.
Okay.
The mahogany tree is the testimony?
Mahogany,
Okay.
yes.
So it is possible, it's not like it would be impossible for a permit to be issued for this
No, sir.
particular tree? Okay.
No reason why it shouldn't be issued.
And ma'am,
Those rocks are really harmful, you know, it's hurting.
Are you planning on replacing the tree with something else?
I have applied for it, yeah.
Will the
If I
permit?
need
The
to.
permit will
If I
require
don't-
that.
Okay, so the
I-
permit requires
so,
that.
I
That's
will-
right, you told me that.
Yes.
I appreciate if I do not need to replace it, you know, that would be great. If I have to, I will have to, you know,
All right, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me? Anything else? No, anything else from the city?
No, sir.
All right, then, city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of city codes 94-446-2C regarding tree abuse, 94-448-D1 regarding failure to get the tree alteration permit. Again, I'm not going to make a finding on the irreparable, irreversible. We'll require you to get that permit within the 90 days.
I already applied.
You already applied for it, it still has to be issued, and you have to, and then you will have the 120 days to replace the tree.
Yeah, because I got an email from Tiffany Kapner
Okay.
that she is going to review my permit application on September 7th. So, I mean, I'm waiting for her to approve the permit, and then she has given me 3 names. So I'll replace with one of
Okay.
those.
And then I will do the daily fines of $50 per day if it's not in compliance within the 90 days. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Next case number 31-809 7th Street, CE 2406-2129, number 31-809 7th Street.
Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code Enforcement. 809. Property was posted in City Hall on 8/19/2024. Certified mail was signed on 6/17/2024. The following violations: 94-302-A4, fence and/or wall maintenance. 74-4C1, hurricane hazard. 74-4C4, trim hedges, obstruction of right-of-way. 18-106A, clean and sanitary. 94-442E, landscaping of swell. 74-4C3, overgrowth. And 74-4C5, cleaning up 1/2 of easement of the right-of-ways. All violations are outstanding at this time. And I'm asking for 45 more days or $100 per day to bring the property into full compliance. It is a vacant lot.
I was going to ask.
Yes,
Thank
sir. It's a vacant lot. And I had conversation with the new owner, and he asked for that time frame, 45 days, and I'm fine with that. And the pictures were taken by myself.
And the photographs truthfully and accurately depict what you observed the violations to be?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. And is this the property owner or property
I
manager?
think he's the property manager. Right, but
Have
I
you
spoke to the property
spoken-
owner.
Have you met with the gentleman present today?
No, not about this property.
Okay.
I haven't.
Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting the testimony of the code enforcement officer, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into the record.
All right, testimony and the photographs and other documents in the city's file are part of the record. Yes, sir, if you could tell me your name and address, and then the floor is yours to either ask questions or tell me about the case.
Hi, good morning. My name is Joel Barrett. This address is 809 7th Street. I'm the appointed manager for this vacant lot.
Yes, sir.
So I have been communicating with Valerie. I have evidence via email, including with the appointed owner currently. We did clear the lot. Everything has been cleared as of today. The only thing that's outstanding, as I was told via email from Valerie, that we can put a hay grass there on the lot. The last 2-3 weeks it has been raining a lot, so now doesn't look as how it looks before, but currently we still have the finishing work to do. So for this lot, all I'm requesting is just an additional 30 days to get everything finished, cleared off because of the rain in the last 2 weeks, and put the hay grass there and be in compliance. But I have been communicating with Valerie via email, and I was on email correspondence with the owner as well.
And they're comfortable with the 45-day time frame.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you, sir. Anything else from the city?
1 second. Turn around and look at the lot on the picture up there. That's the way that lot looked yesterday.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
'Cause it been-
so,
yeah.
and then the fencing is not repaired also. So
Correct.
make
Yeah,
sure
but
all that get done.
Before it was majority of trees there and so forth. I have before and after pictures from when we cleared it. It was not even close to that.
No, it's better, but it's still worse.
Okay.
No, I know. I mean, we're gonna get it done. You know, I'm just now involved again, another
Okay.
one, so now I'm just trying to help.
He's new on the scene for the
Understood.
property. All right.
Thank you for the clarification as well. Okay, city has proper notice with the signed certified mail in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I will accept the city's recommendation, require compliance within 45 days. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number 32, 807 7th Street, CE 2406-2126. Number 32, 807 7th Street.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was posted on 8/19/2024. Certified mail was signed on 6/17/2024. The following violations are outstanding. 18105B for structural repairs, foundation, exterior walls, and roof. 74-4C5, cleaning up one half of easement to the right-of-way. 74-4C4, trim hedges, obstruction of right-of-way. 18106A, clean and sanitary. 74-4C1, hurricane hazard. And 74-4C3, overgrowth. This is an actual structure, and I did speak with the owner, and he informed me that they were gonna file for a demo permit, which they have. They filed for that permit on 8/15/2024, and 90 days is what we're requesting, or $200 per day after that, so they can bring down the structure. And the overgrowth and the cutting of the hedges and keeping the easement clean, I'm asking for the 45 days for that.
Oh, so
separate-
90, for clarification, 90 days?
For the
And
demo.
what is 45 days?
The 90 days for the demo and
Okay.
45 days for the other violations, the overgrowth, the cutting of
Okay.
trees, the other stuff.
And what was the daily that you requested?
$200.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
For all? For the,
For the, bringing the property down for a demo, I'm asking for the 90 days and $200.
and as
For
well
the
as 45 days
45,
and
I'm
200?
asking for 100 for the other outstanding violations.
100?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And
And
the-
you took the photographs personally?
Yes, ma'am.
And they truthfully and accurately depict what the violations we're discussing today are?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And the property owner is in agreement with the recommendation of the city?
Yes, ma'am. That's what he asked for. That's what I'm giving him.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
asking for, rather.
Sure, thank you. At this time, we're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, as well as the case file to be submitted into the record as evidence, barring any objections.
All right. Testimony, evidence, city's file, including photographs, are all part of the record. It's technically a different case, so if you can put your name and address on the record again.
All right, yes, Joel Barrett, and this is for 807 7th Street. So via email, we did correspond with Valerie. That's correct. We did clear all the trees and everything. However, as of yesterday, I was notified from the owner that they have applied for the demolition permit for the structure. As for the landscaping, I mean, we don't see any sense in doing it before the demolition, given the fact that there's going to be, heavy debris afterwards. So we kind of wanted to do the demolition first. So we all wanted the time frame in the, within the 90-day bracket for everything, because we can't place sod down and then demo a property and then, it's like backwards. So we were requesting everything in one via email.
I object for
Let's
that.
circle. I beg your
Because the overgrowth is really overgrown and due to snakes.
Yeah, I want
and-
to see the pictures.
That's understandable.
Yeah, so I would like for those areas to be taken care of
Yeah, for sure.
prior to the demo.
Yeah, I was just referencing to the sodding, that's all.
No, no sodding necessary.
Yeah, if this was going to be, if we were talking about new construction, that's one thing, but you're talking about demo, so I don't see in my mind, that's not a reason to delay getting the vegetation under control.
Sure.
I agree with the city on that.
Yeah, once the building comes down, then you can start that portion of it, because it just can't be just bare dirt.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, so in this case, city again has proper notice based on the testimony and the evidence that will find the property remains in violation as cited. This will be a bifurcated order for, well, let's see, what code section is the city attaching the demolition to?
The
18106A?
18105B, the foundation, exterior walls and roof, I'm attaching
there
it to
it
that.
is. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, on the agenda, there was some overlapping text.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Okay, so for the violation of City Code 18105B, it will require compliance within 90 days, and that is the code section associated with the demolition of the existing structure. If compliance is not achieved within 90 days, I will assess daily fines of $200 per day until compliance is achieved. For all other code sections, which really relate to the overgrowth and cleanup of the lot, I will require compliance within 45 days. And if compliance is not achieved within the 45 days, daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Good
thank you
luck.
so much.
Thank you.
Number 24, 825 29th Street, CE 240621111. Number 24, 825 29th Street.
Good morning. Donald Lattimore, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. For the record, this case was previously heard during the August 7th, 2024 Special Magistrate hearing, and we're back here to discuss the meeting and code violation regarding the prohibited vehicle located at this address, and also the outdoor storage. Just want to let you know, Special Magistrate. All right, so while on patrol,
May I inquire, Special Magistrate, was this heard before you?
Nope.
Right, yeah, so I thought we were going to reset it before the Special Magistrate that heard it prior, but we can give a.
Bernard, I believe, heard that. I believe Ms. Bernard from my office was the magistrate who was here on August 7th.
Okay, I didn't, if we can just give a brief,
yes, I will bring
issue.
everything up to code, and what we decided to do is not to touch it completely, so we're starting it off as if it's fresh. All right, so while on routine patrol, I saw a prohibited vehicle and an inoperable vehicle parked at the property located at 825 29th Street. This property is occupied. I initiated my investigation at the property on June 5th, 2024. There I observed the following violations: 34-102A, and that is the inoperable vehicle. 94-487-A-8, that's the prohibited vehicle. 94-71-C, outdoor storage. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on June 10th, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted a notice of violation at the property and City Hall on June 11th, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on June 11th, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on August 1st, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code section: 94-487-A-8, prohibited vehicle, and 94-71-C, outdoor storage. As I mentioned previously, this case was originally presented at the August 7th, 2024 Special Magistrate hearing, but was rescheduled to this hearing date due to the owners requesting clarification on whether his vehicle was considered a prohibited vehicle in a residential district. On August 7th, 2024, a meeting was held with the City of West Palm Beach Planning and Zoning Administrator, as well as my supervisor, to confirm if the owner's vehicle is prohibited in a residential district. Per the Planning and Zoning Administrator, the vehicle is prohibited in residential district due to business advertisement. On August 7th, 2024, the property owner, Mr. Jerry, who's currently present, was contacted via phone and made aware of the meeting outcome and the need to remove the vehicle from the residential district. I revisited the property again on August 28, 2024, and observed the property still not in compliance with Code Section 94-487-A-8, as well as 94-71-C. The city is asking for 30 days to comply the remaining code violation, and Mr. Jerry, who's the owner and currently present, he's requesting 60 days, but the city is requesting 30 days to comply all remaining code violations. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100 per day.
And I think the issue, if I can hone in on, regarding, the only outstanding issues regarding the van, correct?
No, there's also outdoor storage. The tables that are outside in the front yard, those are not considered patio tables. They're more indoor tables that the plants are sitting on, and they need to be removed as well.
And forgive me, please, what was the end result regarding the van being there?
It's a prohibited vehicle because of the advertisement and the amount of advertisement that's on the vehicle, so it has to be removed from the residential district.
Okay, all right. And that, I think, was the issue at dispute. And is the property owner agreeable to the van being moved? He's just requesting the 60 days to do so?
To my knowledge, that is correct.
Okay, and the reason we're opposing the 60 days would be?
I believe that this it can get done in 30 days. I do understand that it is a prohibited vehicle. I'm not sure if storage needs to be found to where to store the vehicle or how to comply. But I do believe that in 30 days it can be removed, including the outdoor storage.
And thank you. And provided that we at length spoke at the last hearing regarding the burden that the property owner feels or faces regarding the vehicle being there for a long period of time in the past and perhaps having some obstacle in finding storage, are we absolutely opposed to the 60 days?
No, I am not absolutely opposed.
Okay.
I believe it can be done in 30 days. I just wanted the special magistrate and you all to know that's the conflict, in my opinion, right now, is the amount of time to provide to remove the prohibited vehicle. I'm not opposed to 60 days, but I do believe 30 days is enough time.
Thank you for the testimony. And at this time, I would believe that the city, again, though we believe 30 days is sufficient, we're okay with the 60 days at this time, given the past.
That is correct.
Thank
yes.
you. At this time, nothing further. We're requesting that the testimony of the code enforcement officer, the photographs, as well as the case file be admitted into evidence, barring any objection from the property owner. But again, just for the record, we're not opposed to the 60 days request.
The testimony, the city's evidentiary case file, including the photographs, are part of the record. Good morning, sir. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then the floor is yours.
My name is Jerry Robertson. My address, 825 29th Street, West
sir.
Palm Beach, Florida, 33407. I'm going to be brief.
Yes, sir.
I just was requesting 60 days to be in compliance, and I'll be okay with that.
I'm sorry, can you get a little closer to the microphone? I had a hard time hearing what you said.
I was just here to just request for 60 days to be in compliance, and
Okay.
that's all
Okay.
I'm here to do, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Anything else from the city?
Nothing further from the city.
Okay. All right, city has proper notice. Respondent is present. You have the proper notice documents in the file. Did you say that any of the code sections had complied? They're all still outstanding.
No, so there was another vehicle that had a flat tire. That one was removed, but the two that are outstanding is the prohibited vehicle and the outdoor storage.
So 34102A is complied.
Correct.
I will make that finding, as well as the continued violations of 94-487-A8 and 94-71C. I'm going to give you the 60 days. I have no problem with that.
Thank you.
To comply. After that, daily fines is the city's recommendation, $100 per day.
Yes.
Until compliance is achieved. You'll get a copy of that order.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you,
what was
sir.
the fine?
One more question.
Sure.
I know we're talking about removing the vehicle, but the issue was that it got advertisement on it.
Right.
So if I was to remove the advertisement of the vehicle, then I'm gonna have to remove it.
So to my knowledge, that is correct. And the change at that point would be maintaining the tire so it would be operable, that you can drive it. Because right now, as it stands, it's prohibited and it's inoperable.
It's drivable.
The tire is flat.
Yeah, that's a small problem.
Yeah,
It'll be
I'm
fixed in
just-
a couple hours. But it's drivable. There's nothing wrong with the vehicle.
Okay.
Okay. Did that answer your question, sir?
Um,
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
All right, good, thank you.
Okay.
And the fine again?
100.
Thank you. Number 14308 Broadway, CE 23111172, number 14308 Broadway.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Santa Mills Code Compliance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach.
Do you mind speaking a little bit closer to the mic? Thank you.
Good morning. Code Compliance Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. I'm Sandy Mills. The property address 4308 Broadway was cited on November 16, 2023. It was in an effort, a organized sweep for all the convenience store along Broadway in September of last year, within the city limits. The service was accomplished by both regular and certified mail sent on November 16, 2023. Certified mail was returned on December 21st, 2023. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on June 25th, 2024. I have been in contact with the property owner as well as the renters and as well as the registered agent, which is Ms. Donna across from me right now. The property was cited for 8 violations, and of the 8 violations, only 2 were complied. The 2 that were complied is 18-105-J, and that's the painting of the exterior, and 18-105-E, broken window. The remaining violation is present as of yesterday, and that's 22-441, and that's obtain a rental license, which is associated with 82-151, evidence of engaging in business. However, the owner did tell me that he applied for it this morning, so it still needs to be completed, approved. So just a side note. Continuing 18-106-B, excessive growth. There are 2 cabbage palms on the property. One was trimmed and the other still remains untrimmed. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary. We still have a few trash on the property. 94-485-B-1-E, pave and mark for the entire lot. And they still need to submit a permit in order for the paving and remarking of the parking area. 94-442-C-2-B, landscaping standard, which is basically the open areas that are currently there. As of yesterday, the property has not come into complete compliance. The city is requesting an additional 90 days based on the fact that they still haven't put in the permits for the repaving and restriping of the property. And if compliance is not achieved, a fine of $250 per day is requested.
Well, thank you. And you believe the 90 days, I know you stated they have not put in permits, but you believe the 90 days is reasonable amount of time?
It
to
is
comply?
reasonable. That is correct. They originally asked for 30 days, but 90 should be sufficient.
And have you discussed this time recommendation with the registered agent who's present today?
That is correct. We originally, I told them 60, but based on I took into consideration that the permit hasn't been put in as yet, so the 90 days should be sufficient.
And they're and she's in agreement with the 90 days?
She was in agreement with the 60. You'd have to ask her about the 90.
Okay, well, if, I'm assuming 90 is better than 60 any day to comply with.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Did you take the photographs that we're viewing today?
I did.
And they truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed?
They do.
Thank you. And at this time, Special Magistrate, we're asking for the testimony of the code enforcement officer, the case file, as well as the photographs be admitted into evidence, into the record, barring any objections.
Thank you. The testimony and the documentary evidence from the city's file, including the photographs, are part of the record. Good morning, ma'am. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the case.
Hi, good morning. My name is Liza Dunn. I live at 3250 South Ocean Boulevard, Palm Beach, Florida, 33480.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Well, we're working with code enforcement to rectify these situations. Initially, the tenant is a triple net lease, and the tenant was obligated to take on these tasks, and we had discussed it with them. We received, I think code enforcement went by, before they even sent a letter, they were kind enough to go by and have a discussion with the tenant about certain items that needed to take place. And then we received the letter ourselves in November. We had discussions with the tenant, and they assured us that these things were in fact going to take place right after Christmas. But as time went on, it became very evident that we had to step in ourselves. And that's what we're doing. The reason why we don't have the permits applied for the asphalt is because we're still negotiating with a couple different companies. Sometimes can be difficult in the summertime with rain, et cetera. A couple of them had a few issues or didn't respond with in a timely fashion, but we feel that we have somebody secured now. That is underway. We are, trying. We planted the plants, and sure enough, as you can see by the photos yesterday, somebody drove over them again, and so we put up the little flashers. It's an ongoing issue because there's an easement on that property, and there's a tendency for people to use it as a drive-through, trucks, etc. There's a church there on Sunday in the adjacent property. They use it for parking. I guess they didn't see the new plantings. So we're working to rectify that issue. The cabbage palm, obviously, we can trim that. That's not an issue. Okay. The painting's complete. The landscape is a struggle there. It's not really the most hospitable environment for plants. We've had the property for 20 years. It's been an issue, but we're working on it. And of course, 90 days is much greater than 60 days, and we appreciate that latitude.
Okay. Did you say that 18105E and J are complied?
That's correct.
They're not. Everything's still outstanding?
No. They're complied. The painting as well as the broken window has been taken care of.
So they have been complied?
They are complied.
They are, okay.
Just those two.
Thank you.
And then, you included 82151 in the violation, but as I read that code section, it really talks about an evidentiary standard for determining whether someone's engaged in a business. I'm not understanding how somebody could be in violation of that. And to me, that guides the application of the code, but it talks about if you represent yourself as being engaged in a business, then that's evidence of being engaged in the business, but I'm not sure how you would be in violation of that.
Well, the code actually complements the rental license.
Exactly.
And that would take the place of a certificate of use code. So basically, it gives it allows to run fine on that property should they not get the rental license.
so I understand, if you're engaged in business and you don't pay your business tax and you don't have a certificate of use, you're in violation of the failure to get a business tax and failure to have a certificate of use. I'm struggling with how anybody could violate 82-151. It's.
Is that the correct code, if I may, Special Magistrate?
I beg your pardon?
If I may interject to
Yes.
ask the question, is that the correct code? Is that the correct code you meant to cite as far as 82-151?
It is,
Okay,
because
and do you understand the Special Magistrate's concern regarding the code being cited as being violated is a evidence of engaging in business?
right, because basically it's they're showing that there's a business taking place, because I did speak to the renters of the property, and because there's proof that it's being rented and they do not have a rental license, that's how they violate it.
So is the proper citation the violation of operating without a rental license, which is a separate code ordinance being violated? And maybe Mr. Joyce can speak as to that?
Yeah, I could say that 82-151, it states that if you place an advertisement out, you are required to have the license. So that's, the violation is advertising a business without a license. It actually says you're required to have a license whether or not you actually engage in that such, if you're going to put yourself out as having a business.
So
there,
the
then you
city is interpreting, the city is interpreting 82-151 regarding the advertising of the business as being the violation? Is that my understanding?
Yes, as well as needing to have the license in itself, yes.
Did we cite for the license?
That's correct, 22-441.
Okay, and we're also citing as to the advertising of it.
That's correct, and it's currently rented as well.
That is the city's position, Special Magistrate.
Obviously, if they come into compliance with the license, it's a moot point, then they could put their for rent sign out if they need to.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me, ma'am?
I have a question about the license. So I have the rental license, which I applied for this morning. And there's a separate license that the tenant must carry as well that hasn't been addressed. Is that correct?
No, they have both their rental license. Their
Oh, they do?
business tax, sorry.
Okay, all right. That's what okay, excellent, thank you.
All right, anything else from the city?
No.
All right. I'm going to find proper notice in this case. I'm going to find that the property remains in violation as cited, except that the property is in compliance with City Code 18105J, 18105E, and I am not going to make a finding of violation of 82-151. 22-441 requires the business tax to be paid in this case. 82-151 simply explains what evidence the city can rely on in determining if a business is being conducted and arguing that a business tax has to be paid. But that 22-441 for a rental is the code section that is violated. 82-151 is simply, in my estimation, in my read, an explanation of what evidence the city can rely on in establishing a violation of either 22-441 or for non-rental businesses, I think it's 82-144, so, which requires a business tax receipt. Regardless, I am going to accept the city's recommendation, require compliance with the outstanding violations within 90 days. If compliance is not achieved within that time frame, I will assess the daily fines of $250 per day until compliance is achieved. All right, did you get all that?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, and number 30, 619 7th Street, CE 24051938.
Hello.
What number, Erica? Erica, what number?
30,
Thank you.
619 7th.
Okay. Good morning, Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Property was posted along the City Hall on 8/19/2024. Certified mail was signed on 5/13/2024. The following violations: 94-71C, outdoor storage, has complied. 18103E, windows and weather-tight windows, has complied. 18103J, exterior painting, has complied. 94442C1, landscaping, has not complied. 7434A1H, trash can in public view, has complied. And 18103B, condition of the structure, that includes the foundation, exterior wall, and/or roof, that has not complied. I went by the property on yesterday. They have put black paper over the roof. I looked in the system to see had they applied for a permit for the roof, and they have not applied for the permit for the roof. So I'm asking for 60 days or $100 per day, and I've had no contact with anyone. And I did take the pictures and verify.
You said 60 days or 100 days for clarity?
$100 per day.
$100 rather, sorry. Okay. And are you familiar with the lady
No, I'm
being
not.
present?
No,
Okay,
I'm
you've not had any discussions
no
with
contact.
her? Okay.
I believe so.
And there are only 2 citations, violations listed here that have not complied, correct?
Yes, ma'am. 18103B and 9442C1.
And you took those photographs personally, and they truthfully and accurately depict the 2 outstanding violations as being discussed today here?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe 60 days is a reasonable time to bring the violations into compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, Special Magistrate, we're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, as well as the photographs and the case file, be admitted into the record as evidence, barring any objections.
Thank you. The testimony in the city's case file with the photographs and other documents are part of the record. Yes, ma'am. If you can tell me your name and address, and then the floor is yours to tell me about the case.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Annette Ferrer. At 619 7th Street, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33401.
Yes, ma'am.
The owners are requesting 90 days. We are aware of the roof. They're working on getting permits. It's scheduled for October 16. So it should be processing now, from what I was told this morning. As far as the grass, with the rain, we've been blessed, so it has grown out. I just want to make sure with Officer Lester if it's the back of the house that you're referring to, because everything else has grass.
Well, the pictures from the posting date, the grass in the front needed to be more. And around the perimeter, it's doing better around the perimeter than it is in the front.
Yes.
So the front is still in need of landscaping.
So I took some pictures this morning and I brought them, so maybe you can just tell me exactly, to tell me what I don't see, because I see grass.
Okay.
Can I reach it to you?
Yeah, if you can show those to Ms. Lester.
You could turn around and look at the pictures on the camera.
Right.
Okay. Okay, keep going and you'll come to, yeah. Go from the posting date. Yeah, that's fine. This area in the back, that was on the posting date. Then go around to the front. Just keep going through the posting dates and you'll find the pictures from the front. Yeah, areas like that.
Okay.
It may have grown in weeds, but it's not grass.
Well, yeah, so it is, I'll show you the pictures and you tell me, and then if not, I'll get it fixed. It's not a problem. The back is an issue. There's a vehicle that parks there. I don't know who it belongs to. I've even called for it to be towed, and when they go, they take the car, so I don't know who it belongs to.
See the front?
I'm sorry?
That's the front of the property right there.
Yeah, that part has the grass on it.
Okay.
But yeah, so if you can just give us 90 days, we'd appreciate it and get it taken care of, please.
I'm fine with the 90 days.
Thank you.
Just the roof permit might take a little minute. You did a good job on the house.
That's really nice.
It really does. Come a long way.
Yeah, very long.
What says the city on the request for 90 days?
No problem.
Okay.
90 days is fine.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell me, ma'am?
Thank you.
All right. So the city has proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, we'll find that the looks like you complied with almost everything. The code sections that remain in violation are 94-442C1 regarding the landscape areas being grass, and 18103B regarding the roof. I will set compliance for 90 days. After that, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have for contested matters.
All right. Let's, do we need to take a break, or can we rip through the rest of the 9 o'clock agenda?
May I request a bathroom break?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
For
So
5
let's-
minutes.
Let's go off the record for 5 minutes. We'll be back at 11:25 or so. are we back on the record?
Okay.
Good, okay. All right, let's go ahead and go back on the record. We had a couple of cases left to do on the 9 o'clock agenda. Let's finish those up real quick, and then we'll move on to the 11:30 agenda.
Number 2, 550 Okeechobee Boulevard, 412, CE 24072321.
Good morning, Kevin Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. The property located at 550 Okeechobee Boulevard, Unit 412, was cited for not having a rental license, certificate of use, and evidence of engaging in business contrary to City Codes 22-441, 22-32-A, and 82-151. On July 23rd, 2024, a notice of violation was sent out to the property owner. This notice was sent out via regular mails and certified mail. Certified mail was signed for on July 29, 2024. On August 15, 2024, the property owner came into the city and submitted a signed notarized certificate of non-rental. On August 16th, I went to the location to verify occupancy, and the manager at the front desk informed me that the property was occupied by a tenant. The manager also called the tenant on the phone, placed him on speaker, and the tenant informed us that he is occupying the unit until March 2025. I spoke to the owner. He said he was going to go talk to the front desk and call me back. I never heard from him. Yesterday, I went and did an inspection at another unit in that building, and front desk again did verify that the property is occupied by a tenant. So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance, or $200 a day thereafter. Also, as of this morning, there wasn't an active application on file for this unit.
There is not.
And there isn't. And the owner on file does live in another unit, 1118 in that building, which is registered to someone with his same last name. And as a matter of fact, that person is on the property appraisers on the deed for 412 too.
Okay, thank you. In light of the special magistrate's previous ruling on the case, section 82-151, we're not moving forward with that at this point in time, given the special magistrate's previous ruling stating that it's evidence engaging. It's not necessarily a violation, but just providing what is looked upon as evidence in doing and engaging in a business. Otherwise, the 22-441 and 22-32-A, you're saying 30 days is a reasonable time to bring it in compliance? And what amount if not in compliance?
$200 a day thereafter.
$200. At this time, Special Magistrate, we're asking for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and any photographs be admitted into the record as evidence.
All right. Testimony and evidence presented is part of the record in this case. Respondent is not present, but city has proper notice with the notice documents contained in the file. If found property remains in violation of City Codes 22-441 and 22-32A, the relief requested by the city is granted.
Thank you.
Number 5 is rescheduled, 3009 Parker Avenue, CE 24072342. Number 6 is rescheduled, 308 Grayman Drive, CE 24072298. Number 7, 5501 Manning Avenue, CE 24062077.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited June the 6th. Certified mail was sent June the 7th. Certified mail has been in transit since July 27th. City Hall was posted June the 10th. This property was cited for trash and debris, 18-106A, high grass, 18-106B, maintaining of landscaping, 18-106M, inoperable vehicle, 34-102A. And I think there's one more. Nope, I didn't do it for unpaid parking. As of yesterday, none of the violations have come into compliance, but the inoperable vehicle was moved after the fact onto the side in the grass area. I took all the photos. Every photo truthfully and accurately depicts what I saw when I was there. I have had no communication with the property owner or the son. The city is requesting an additional 30 days at $100 per day after, as well as an abatement for 34-102A, the inoperable vehicle. The windows seem to be, the driver window seem to be broken out. Someone put tape on it. It's getting water in it, and it could be a hazard for kids and harboring to wildlife in that area right behind it.
Okay, you're asking for an abatement.
Yes, after 10 days for an abatement for the inoperable vehicle.
Okay. And is the property vacant?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've had no communication with
No, ma'am.
anyone regarding the property? Nothing further, Special Magistrate? We're requesting that the photographs, the testimony of the code enforcement officer, and the case file be admitted into the record as evidence.
The testimony, documents, and evidence are part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the posting following the in-transit certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Is it your belief that the violation of 34-102A constitutes threat to the public health, safety, and welfare?
Yes, sir.
I will grant the relief requested by the city, including, I'm not going to tell you how to abate it, but
No, we have
I do
ways.
agree that it's a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare, and the city's authorized to abate that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And 30 days and $100 a day for the rest of the violations? Did we already?
I beg your pardon?
And 30 days and $100 a day for the rest of the violations?
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 8, 600 O Street, CE 24072383.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. All the properties, the two that I have today, were noticed while on my routine patrol driving through my assigned area. Property in question, 600 O Street, was initially cited on July 30th, 2024. Certified mail was sent out July 31st, 2024. Both City Hall and the property were posted July 31st, and certified mail was returned August 6th, 2024. The property was cited for 74-4-C1, hurricane hazard, 18106B, excessive growth, 94-442-E, landscape of swale and parkways, and 74-4-C-5, clean to the center adjoining alleyway or right-of-way. I have been in contact with the property owner who contacted me the day after I posted the property. I explained to her the situation for the alleyway in the back of the property and the parkway in that picture with the overgrowth and all the vegetation that needs to be removed. I have not heard anything back from them since. So the city's requesting 90 additional days or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, so you did have contact with the property owner previously?
That's correct.
Okay, and did you take those photographs?
Yes, I did.
And they truthfully and accurately depict the violations being talked about today?
Yes.
And you're stating that all 4 citations have not been complied with,
Correct.
correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. And we're requesting, Special Magistrate, that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted to the record as evidence, barring any objections.
Right, the testimony and the city's documentary evidence are part of the record in this case. I find proper notice with the posting following the return to certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. I will find property remains in violation as cited and grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 9, 717 Avon Road, E CE 24072384.
Good morning, Officer Underwood, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Property 717 Avon Road was initially cited on July 30th. Certified mail was sent out July 31st. Both the property and City Hall were posted July 31st, and certified mail was returned August 5th. This property was cited for 18106B, excessive growth, 71-1, obstacle in the right-of-way, passage, street, sidewalk, bike path, 94-442-E, landscape, park, swale maintenance. I have been in constant contact, email and phone, with the property owner. They have applied for, stop right there, go back to that picture. They have applied for and received a permit for the pavers in the parkway right there that are going across, so they're keeping that, but the rest of the stuff has to be removed, and to this day, it's still outstanding. And so the city is requesting 90 additional days or $200 a day total compliance.
Thanks. And you believe 90 days is a reasonable amount of time to
Yes, I
bring the
do.
property in compliance? And you took the photographs?
Yes, I did.
And they truthfully and accurately depict the violations being discussed today?
Yes, they do.
And you stated you've been in contact with the property owner. Are they agreeable to the 90 days?
Yes and no.
Okay.
They're 90 days is plenty of time to pull it out, but they're saying that they don't have to pull it out because they don't have to.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further. Special Magistrate, we're requesting for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence.
Testimony and documentary evidence in the city's file are part of the record in this case. So, is 78-1 complied or not?
No, it is not. If you go back to the pictures, you can see the stuff is still overgrown.
Okay.
It's still, as you can see, the bushes, the trees, the parkway, all that stuff's still overgrown in the sidewalk.
Yep,
I say
okay.
no.
All right,
Yes,
then, city has proper notice with the posting following the returned certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited. I will grant the city the relief requested by the city.
Number 10, 631 35th Street, CE 240882, CE 24082544.
Good morning, Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I got a complaint about the property 631 35th Street. I investigated the property on August 15, 2024. The property is a vacant lot. The violations I discovered are 18106-A, which is trash and debris all over the lot, 18-106-B, which is the overgrowth, 18-215-A, which is the failure to comply for the abatement that we'll be asking for. 74-4-C-4, which is the alleyway / dead vegetation. The property was cited on August 16, 2024. Certified and regular mail were sent on August 20th, 2024. It was delivered but not signed. Notice of violation was posted at the property in City Hall on August 26, 2024. I completed the affidavit of posting. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I had contact with the property just this morning. I got a phone call from the owner saying that the property had been cut 5 days ago. As of yesterday, the violations were still existing. I notified the owner. He said that he would try to get in contact with his lawn company to see what the issue was. So as of yesterday, the violations are all still present. The city's asking 14 days to gain compliance or an abatement.
14 days or abatement?
Correct.
And you believe this is a health and safety concern to the community?
Correct. As the pictures you can see, there's multiple broken bottles, glass bottles, also other trash that has been illegally dumped on the property. And since it's blocking also the sidewalk, it causes an issue to the residents of the area as well as trying to walk on the sidewalk. The high bush and high grass area leads for animals to be hidden in there, and it's kind of difficult, especially at night, if there might be something hidden there or not, and it could be a danger to the residents that walk in the neighborhood. And also the way the property is looking leads to more illegal dumping, since it's already starting to look pretty bad, and also affects both neighbors on the side.
Great, thank you. At this time, Special Magistrate, we're requesting for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence.
Thank you. The testimony and the evidentiary documentary evidence in the city's file is part of the record in this case. The city has proper notice with the delivered but unsigned certified mail and the posting, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to give the respondent 7 days to comply. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the health, safety, welfare violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 11, 1881 North Tamron Avenue, CE 24082500.
Good morning, Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I'd received this complaint from PD where I was asked to come to the property to take a look. 1881 North Tamron on August 7th, 2024. The area is vacant. The violations I discovered were 18-106-A, trash and debris all over the property, 18-106-B, overgrown, and 18-215-B, which is the failure to comply, which is I'm asking abatement. The property was cited on August 12, 2024. Certified and regular mail was sent on August 13, 2024. Notice of violation was posted at the property August 15, 2024. I completed the affidavit of posting. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violation observed. I have no contact with the property other than one of the community officers contacted the owner through email and let him know that the property had been cited, and they had said that they would send someone out to clean up, but no effort has been made. So as of yesterday, the property is still in violation. The city is asking for 14 days to gain compliance or abatement.
Or abated?
Correct. This is connected to the next case after this. They're both owned by the same company. One is like a parking lot and the other one is a building. They're both vacant and I'm be asking for both of them to be abated.
Okay, great, thank you. We're requesting that the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs depicting the violation be part of the record as evidence.
Thank you. The testimony, case file, and photographs are part of the record in this case. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the notice documents contained in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow the respondent 7 days to comply. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violation, and assess the costs.
Number 12, 1865 North Tamron Avenue, CE 24082488.
Good morning, Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. This is the other half of the property, which I received a complaint as well, 1865 North Tamron. I investigated the property on August 7th, 2024. It is vacant. The violations I discovered were 18-106-A, trash and debris all over the property, 18-106-B, the overgrowth, 18-214-B, which needs to be boarded and secured. There is a door in the back of the property that has been broken down, and there's also where it looks like to be a AC unit used to be. There's a hole there, which could be a safety risk for the neighborhood. The property was cited on August 9th, 2024. Certified regular mail sent on August 13th, 2024. It was returned. Notice of violation was posted at the property in City Hall on August 15, 2024. I completed the affidavit posting. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. Same thing, I haven't had contact with the property owner. The only contact that was been made is through the community officer. As of yesterday, the violations are still present. The city is asking 14 days to gain compliance or an abatement.
Thank you. We're requesting at this time the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs and the case file be admitted into the record as evidence.
All right, thank you. The testimony and the photographs and other documentary evidence are part of the record in this case. City has proper notice with the notice documents in the file, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited. I find that the violations of 18214B, 18106A, 18106B constitute threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I'll allow 7 days to comply. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 13, 932 McIntosh Street, CE 24082474.
Good morning, Richard Pazmino with City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was reported as a complaint about unpaved parking and the landscape area dying because of the unpaved parking. This property was cited on August 8th, 2024. On that date, certified mail and regular mail were sent out with the notice of violation, notice of hearing. It was signed and received for on August 12th. The code sections cited were 94-482A for unpaved parking and 94-442C1, landscape areas must be grass. I have had contact with the owner, James, via phone and email, and let him know the issues at the property. As of yesterday, the owner has complied 94-482A, the unpaved parking. But the other violation, 94-442C1, is still out of compliance. I attached the email where I explained to the owner that mulch is not an acceptable ground cover, so he has to remove the mulch and install sod or do a combination of plants to occupy that area and, prevent the mulch from running off. He said he understood that email's in there. With that being said, the city's recommending 30 additional days to finish that up, or the city's asking for a fine of $50 a day after that.
Great, thank you. And you believe 30 days is a reasonable amount of time?
Yes, it is. He said he'll get right on it.
Okay, great. At this time, we're requesting the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file be admitted into the record as evidence.
All right, the testimony and the photographs and other documentary evidence is part of the record. The city has proper notice with the signed certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation of city code, was it 94-442C1?
Yes.
I'll allow 30 days to comply. After that, daily fines of $50 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 14 is complied, 4401 Nottingham Boulevard, CE 24082469. Number 17, 4021 San Marino Boulevard, 106, CE 24072330.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On July 24th, I discovered the property at 4021 San Marino Boulevard, Unit 106. The property is being rented. I cited the property for 22-441 rental license violations and 22-32-A certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted August 19th. Certified mail was sent July 24th. Certified mail was signed for August 27th. I did have a conversation with the property manager. She did confirm with me that that particular unit is being rented. I did request for her to make contact with the property owner and make contact with me so I can walk him through the process to obtain the rental license. I've had no contact with the property owner. With that being said, the city is recommending 30 days to bring the property into compliance. or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the case file, and any photographs that may have been provided to be admitted into evidence, into the record.
City's testimony and documentary evidence and the case file are all part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the signed certified mail. I find property remains in violation as cited and grant the relief requested by the city.
19861 36th Street, CE 24072361.
Good morning, Code Officer KT Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While riding through my zone, I observed at first a for rent sign and several other violations at 861 36th Street. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation, citing the following violations: 18106A, clean and sanitary; 18106G, paint, or touch-up paint; 2232A, certificate of use; 22441, rental license; 7434-A-1-H, trash can in public view; 74-4-C-1, trimming of the trees from the structure; 78-94-C, swells and parkways, seed or sod, and maintain; 94-71C, outdoor storage. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on August the 16th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on August the 16th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on August the 5th of 2024. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on September the 3rd of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of all the violations previously listed. Reinspection photos were taken on September the 3rd, showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case, and I have had no contact with the property owner. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Nothing further at this time, Special Magistrate. We're requesting for the Code Enforcement Officer's testimony, the photographs, and the case file to be admitted into the record as evidence.
Thank you. The testimony, photographs, and other documentary evidence are part of the file. It finds proper notice with the signed certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. I find the property remains in violation as cited and grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 203902 Westview Avenue, CE 24072278.
Good morning, Code Officer K. Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. I received a complaint for 3902 Westview Avenue. I observed several violations at the property. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation, citing the following violations: 18106, clean and sanitary, which has been complied; 78-1, obstructing the passage on the sidewalk, which has been complied; 18106G, paint, a touch-up; 78-6-5, address characters visible from the street; 74-71C, outdoor storage. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July the 24th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 24th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on July the 17th of 2024. Certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on September the 3rd and observed the property still in violation of 18106G, 78-6-5, and 94-71C. Reinspection photos were taken on September the 3rd, showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I have had contact with the property owner. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the photographs, as well as the case file be admitted into the record as evidence, barring any objections.
Testimony, photographs, and other documentary evidence are part of the record in this case. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the posting following the return of certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation of City Codes 18106G, 7865, and 9471C. I find compliance with the other code sections that were cited in the notice and grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 22, 4020 Greenwood Avenue, CE 24072271.
Good morning again, Code Officer Kay Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. While riding through my zone, I observed several violations at 4020 Greenwood Avenue. I took photos of the property which accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. I then initiated my investigation, citing the following violations: 18103B, roof repair; 18106A, clean and sanitary; 18106B, excessive growth; 74-34-A-1-H, trash can in public view; 94-442E, landscape maintenance and sodding in bare areas; 94-482-A, vehicles parked on unpaved surfaces; 94-71C, outdoor storage. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on July the 24th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on July the 24th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on July the 19th of 2024. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on September the 3rd of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of all the violations previously listed. Reinspection photos were taken on September the 3rd, showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case, and I have had contact with the property manager for the property. The city is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $150 a day until compliance is achieved.
Great, thank you. Is the property manager in agreement with that 30 days?
Her take on it, because this is the second go around there, she did have a previous older case, and it had recently gotten complied. So she moved this tenant in, did the inspection, and, I reinforced to her on many occasions that the property needs to stay as it was. She knew about the roof, so she has had about 6 months, from the previous case to start working on it. Nothing has been done. The tenants that she has in there now, it's just getting worse. Every day it's getting worse. I guess they may eventually evict, but the parking of vehicles, there's usually 2 or 3 cars now that's being parked, so it's just steadily growing worse. And at this time, nothing has been addressed. So
you believe 30 days is sufficient, given the long period of time that it's been this way?
I think 30 days, we can give them a little more time, but something needs to start. The process needs to start.
Okay.
And I'm just, I don't know what it's going to take to get that process to start.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting the code enforcement officer's testimony, as well as the photographs and the case file be admitted into the record as evidence.
Testimony, photographs, and other documents are in the record. We'll find proper notice with signed certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find property remains in violation as cited. Based on the testimony regarding compliance, I'm going to allow 60 days to cure the violations. And then after that, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 23, 939 35th Street, CE 24072235.
All right, it's official. Good afternoon. Donald Lattimore, currently employed with the City of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. So while on routine patrol, I saw a vehicle parked at 939 35th Street, obstructing the sidewalk right away. This property is occupied. I initiated my investigation on July 3rd, 2024, and observed the following violations: 78-1, obstructing at right-of-way; 94-442-E, landscaping of the parkway; 74-34-A-1-H, that's the trash can in public view; and 18-106-A, trash on property. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing. The notice was noticed by certified and regular mail on July 9th, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted a notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on July 10th, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on July 10th, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on August 30th, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code section, which is the 94-442-E, landscaping of the parkway. I took photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The following photos show that the violation still exists on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, but I made contact with him over the phone on August 7th, 2024. During our conversation, I explained all the code violations, how to comply them, and provided a list of approved plant material for the parkway area. We also discussed the next step, including this hearing date. The city is asking for 90 days for the owner to comply with the landscaping of the parkway. If no complaints, a daily fine of $100 per day.
Great, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence.
The testimony, photographs, and documentary evidence are part of the record, so it's only 94-442-E that's outstanding.
That is correct, yes.
All right, I do find proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find property remains in violation of City Code 94-442-E, but has complied with the other code sections that were cited, and I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 25, 915 34th Street, CE 24072318.
All right, Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement Officer. While on patrol, I saw a property lacking landscape maintenance. I initiated my investigation on July 18th at the property located at 915 34th Street. This property appears to be vacant. There I observed the following violations: 18-106-K, landscape maintenance. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on July 23rd, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted a notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on July 25th, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on July 25th, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on August 28th, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the code section 18-106-K, which is landscape maintenance. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The following photographs show that the violations still exist on the property, and these photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. I have not made contact with the property owner or made aware of a representative attending this hearing. The city is asking for 30 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100.
Great, thank you. Nothing further, Special Magistrate. We're requesting for the case file, photographs, and the code enforcement officer's testimony to be accepted into the record as evidence.
Okay, testimony, photographs, and documents are part of the file. Respondent is not present. City has proper notice with the notice documents in the file. Find the property remains in violation as cited and grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 27, 420 16th Street, CE 24072272.
Donald Lattimore, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement Officer. While on patrol, I saw a property needing landscape maintenance. I initiated my investigation on July 2nd, 2024 at the property located at 420 16th Street. This property is vacant. There I observed the following violations: 18-106-K landscape maintenance and 74-34-A-1-H trash can in public view. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on July 12th, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on July 12th, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on July 12th, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on July 28th, 2024, and observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code section: 18-106-K landscape maintenance. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The photographs show that the violations still exist on the property, and these photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. I have not made contact with the property owner or made aware of a representative attending this hearing. With that being said, the city is asking for 30 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100 per day.
Great, thank you. We're requesting for the case file, the code enforcement officer's testimony, and the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence.
The testimony, photographs, and documents are part of the record. Find proper notice with the certified mail and posting. Find property remains in violation as cited, and grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 28, 420 Lilac Court, CE 24072246.
All right, Donald Lattimore, currently employed with the city of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. I received a complaint via email regarding trash and debris in a trash container in public view at 420 Lilac Court. I initiated my investigation at the property on July 2nd, 2024. This property is occupied. There I observed the following violations: 18-106-A clean and sanitary, 74-34-A-1-H trash can in public view, 18-102-3 replacing a window screen, 18-103-E making weather tight of all windows, 94-71-C outdoor storage, 18-106-K landscape maintenance, 22-32-A a certificate of use for a rental property, 22-441 a rental license is needed for the property, and 94-442-E landscaping of the parkway, which is side. For the record, all of the violations have been complied except 18-106-K. That's the landscape maintenance. The city issued a notice of violation to the property owner, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on July 10th, 2024 by the city's clerk. I posted the notice of violation on the property and at City Hall on July 12th, 2024. I also completed an affidavit of posting on July 12th, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on August 30th, 2024, and observed that the landscape 18-106-K still needed some attention, particularly on the left side of the property. They started the sodding process, but they have not finished just yet. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The following photographs show that the violations still exist on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. The property owner is not present, and I was not made aware of a representative attending this hearing. However, I have made contact with the property owner. My first time making contact with the property owner was July 30th, 2024 via email. Since first contact, the property owner and I have had contact multiple times throughout this investigation, via email and by phone. And all violations, how to comply to them, this hearing date, and the next steps were discussed with the property owner. The city is asking for 30 days to comply to landscape violation. If no compliance, $100 per day. Which the property owner does believe, 30 days is more than enough. He's gonna try to do it in 2 weeks for us.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Officer Lattimore. At this time, we're requesting for the code enforcement officer's testimony, the case file, and the photographs to be admitted into the record as evidence.
The officer's testimony, as well as the city's file with photographs and other documentary evidence presented, are part of the record. Based on the review of all that evidence, I find proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. I find the property has complied with all code sections cited in the notice, with the exception of City Code 18106K regarding landscape maintenance, which remains in violation. I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Number 29, 820 South Mangonia Circle, CE 24072211.
Good afternoon, Officer Luster, West Palm Code Enforcement. Property was posted along with City Hall on 8/19/2024. Certified mail was signed on 7/12/2024 for the following violations on property. 744C3 has complied, overgrowth. 9471C outdoor storage has complied. 944878 prohibited vehicle has complied. 744C1 hurricane hazard trees, vegetation, overgrowth has not complied. 18106A clean and sanitary has complied. And 744C5 clean up one half of easement to the public right-of-ways have not complied. I've had no contact with this property owner. I'm asking for 25 more days to come into compliance, or $100 per day after. And the photographs were taken by myself and truthfully depicts the violations.
Awesome, thank you. And so you've had no contact with the property owner, but they have complied with, so your expert opinion is they've had notice by their compliance, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further at this time. Special Master requesting for the case file, the photographs, and the code enforcement officer's testimony be taken into the record as evidence.
All right, the testimony, photographs, and other documentary evidence presented are part of the record. With the signed certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. I'll find the property remains in violation of City Code 744C1, 744C5, but has complied with all other code sections originally cited in the notice, and I will grant the relief requested by the city.
Okay, number 33 is complied, 435 13th Street, CE 24072291. Number 34 is complied, 1440 Crossway, CE 24072284. And that completes the first part of the agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think that gets us to the end of the 9 o'clock agenda. So, we ready to proceed with the 11:30 agenda? All right, good afternoon, folks. If you're here for one of the matters on our 11:30 agenda, it looks like they're all requests for fine reduction. If you're going to be speaking to me about any of those items, I do need your testimony to be under oath, so I need to swear everybody in. I can do that all at the same time. If you'll please stand and raise your right hands if you're going to be testifying, and I'll swear you in. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury your testimony this afternoon will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can all have a seat. The way we'll proceed is when your case is called, please come up to the podium that's right here to my right. I'll get some background information on the case from the city, and then I will come to you and ask, and it'll be your opportunity to tell me about the request for the lien reduction. After I've heard everything from you and the city, I'll enter an order on the request. So let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, first case is number 0 and 36 for 408 Alvarado, aka 402 Alvarado, CE 11010510 and CE 12030164. Is anyone here for? Nobody you see those cases? Monique, did you say about 5 minutes?
Yes, yes, ma'am, 5 minutes.
If you guys want to have a seat, he's going to be a few minutes. All right, he's great. I called numbers 0 and 36 for 408 Alvarado, aka 402 Alvarado.
For case on the agenda, case 0, we're going to remove that one from the agenda for today.
That's being removed?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Number 0. 36 will stand. But I also need to be sworn in. I apologize. I need to be sworn.
What about, same with 36, or?
36 is valid.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you haven't been sworn in?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Swearing in. Do you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Forgive my tardiness. For case number CE 120-30164, this case was originally cited in March of 2012. It was cited for landscape maintenance, trash can placement in view of the public, paint needed for the exterior, exterior repairs, trash and debris on the property, outdoor storage, as well as rental license and certificate of use violations. This went to a special magistrate hearing May 16th, 2012. It was ordered for the fine to start running as of June 19th, 2012. This ran for 4,310 days at $100 a day and was complied April 7th, 2024, for a total of $431,000. There was previously a conditional release of lien done for this property, where the respondents paid $15,000 and had 6 months to bring that into compliance. They failed to meet that compliance date. And so we do have an agreement beforehand, magistrate, for them to pay an additional $10,000 within 90 days, and that will satisfy the lien on this property.
All right, yes, sir. If you can tell me your name and address, and just, I want to make sure everything,
My home address?
or the address of the property that you're affiliated with.
402 Alvarado?
Okay, and you're the owner?
Yes.
And the
she and I.
applicant for the lien reduction, or for the fine reduction?
Correct.
Okay. So this is, and you guys are under agreement with what we're doing here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what was represented by the city is your understanding of what's going to happen? And is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
That's it, sir.
Okay, then, I mean, I will affirm and ratify the agreement and sign off on it. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Can I just ask for number 0? Are we
No, we're-
rescheduling that case?
We're
or-
taking that one off completely. There was an error with that.
So we're releasing the lien?
The case was never liened, as far as I could see. There's no
Okay.
book and page number on it,
Okay.
but it looks like it ran a fine, but was never liened, so we'll just close that case.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Number 35, 941 39th Court, CE 22040370.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The case address CE 22040-370 for 941 39th Court. This case was originally cited April of 2022. They were cited for a fence that was constructed without a permit, and the subsequent inspection for that work needing to be passed. This went to a special magistrate hearing June 1st of 2022. It was ordered for the fine to start as of July 5th, 2022. This ran for 80 days at $100 a day for a total of $8,000 and was complied September 23rd of 2022. This was done under the same owner there here today. Magistrate, we do have an agreement beforehand to reduce this fine to $1,500 payable within 60 days.
And there's an agreement for that?
Yes, sir.
You have an agreement? 1,500 in how many days? Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then just want to make sure that you're in agreement with the conditions or terms that the city put on the record.
Stephanie Flores, 941 39th Court, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33407. I am in compliance. I agree to the compliance of the
All right,
reduction.
and then I will ratify and sign off on that and approve it as well. Thank you, ma'am.
Here's a copy of your order.
Thank you.
Number 37, 2731 Pinewood Avenue, CE 210800018.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. For agenda item number 37, case number CE 2108018, case address 2731 Pinewood Avenue. This case was originally cited in August of 2021. They were cited for trash and debris, weeds, and overgrowth on the property, on the empty lot, excuse me. This went to a special magistrate hearing September 15th, 2021. It was ordered for the fine to start as of October 18th, 2021. That ran for 184 days at $100 a day for a total of $18,400. This was complied April 20th of 2022. This was done under the same owner, only 2 cases with code enforcement under their ownership. The city would like to request 25% of the lien, which would be $4,600, magistrate.
Thank you. All right, yes, sir. If you can put your name and address on the record, and then the floor is yours to tell me about the request.
Yes. My name is Albert Boyd. I represent the owner of the property at Pinewood Avenue. My address is 13833 Wellington Trace, Wellington, Florida, 33414. I appreciate you having us here today. I feel we have a citizen that's a victim of the system. I feel code enforcement, as we know, has a tough job. Safety and maintaining property values and so on. It's an honorable mission. In this particular case, this small little tenth of an acre property, vacant, sits directly next to the Florida East Coast Railroad. And the city of West Palm Beach was touting the Northwood connection in their publications. I had submitted a complete package, exhibits A through H, to the code enforcement officers and to the mayor because of the situation. The mayor's completely informed, and the assistant mayor has been involved with this. So this was called the Northwood Connection, a West Palm Beach project, worthy project for sure. And the railroad tracks lay right up against this vacant lot. I did a records request, received all the code enforcement pictures of the items that were on the lot. The items that are on the lot are railroad, Florida East Coast Railroad items. Cable reels, big rocks, railroad tracks, timbers, and so on. You also note in the pictures, they were all taken around August through December 2021. And according to the U.S. government's facts and figures, the COVID cases peaked in Palm Beach County during this period. This is a material issue because once the owner was aware that he had a violation, he attempted to contact Florida East Coast Railroad over and over again without success. One might suggest that due to COVID, the staff was minimized. All I can tell you is he could not get a response until he threatened to put some of the materials and lay them across the tracks. They finally came out and removed the items, and I have all the pictures and everything from code enforcement showing it. The owner paid about $50,000 for this lot. He's a senior citizen, sweetheart of a guy, does not have the greatest organizational skills or communication skills. That's why I'm here. But he's on a limited income. It's just him, and he's been hit with these fines. And technically, our opinion is this site was a staging area for Florida East Coast Railroad. In my experience, if you lease land to FPL, AT&T, or a contracting company, they'll pay you. At minimum, they'll ask for permission. A unique element in this, with all due respect, is West Palm Beach was in what we may call a joint venture with Florida East Coast Railroad to promote the Northwood Connection, and were benefactors of this staging area that was neither paid for or provided permission to use. For that reason, the owner, as hard as he tried, and he tried hard to get things removed, and he finally did due to the bureaucracy at Florida East Coast Railroad, I feel that the owner should not have any fines. As a niche developer and investor, I know how it is when people throw junk on your lot and the owner's responsible. But in this case, we had a bureaucracy during the peak period of COVID in which the city and the railroad were benefactors of this gentleman's land. The assistant mayor has suggested a 3% fee, a fine. Again, I don't think you should have to pay anything, with all due respect, but we would certainly accept that just to make it go away. I hope that you'll make the right decision for this gentleman. Thank you very much.
All right, does the city have any questions or anything additional to put on the record?
No, Magistrate, only the fact that we did have this conversation prior, and we are definitely understanding of the situation, but as I explained to the gentleman, that as the owner of the property, it's your responsibility to maintain it. And as was stated before, this did run for 184 days, so there's certainly some responsibility that falls on the owner there.
May I interject?
Oh, yes.
Armando? Yes. I'm sorry. No, ma'am. No. No, ma'am. We would accept the mayor's office offer of 3% to make it go away. About
He's going to kill me. I always do that. What is the 3%? I'm not a math, unfortunately. I'm a
Marcus
lawyer.
mentioned it was
That would be
$560.
$556.
Oh, $556.
And if I could just interject again, that all of this was happening at the peak of COVID. And as I understand, there was a moratorium, at least with Palm Beach County, on some fines and fees of this nature during the COVID pandemic. And this was during the actual peak, according to the USA facts.
Okay, thank you. So the city's offer is 25, at this time is 25%, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Which I misspoke, 3% was $552. I apologize.
And 3% is $552. 25% is $4,600. And that's what you said, you told me 25% is, or?
25%, yes, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, that was what
Okay.
was presented, 25%.
all right. Any final?
I can only appeal to you to understand this gentleman's position, and he's truly a victim of the system and should not be subjected to fines of that nature.
Can you explain to me a little more about the interaction with, I guess, the city administrator's office and this other offer, and why that wasn't accepted at the time? Or?
I just found about it this morning prior to coming through the door here, actually. I sent a complete, there was, I know that code enforcement's very busy with the expanding city and everything, and so in an effort to try to move things along, I sent a package to Mr. James, and he handed it to Armando. I assumed he was the assistant mayor, but Armando, and he reviewed all the exhibits and the basis for our wanting to waive the fees, and he, according to Marcus, offered a 3% settlement, and we would accept 3% to make it go away.
So that was never rejected, it just hasn't
That's correct.
been-
I just, Marcus just shared that with me moments ago out.
I see.
Mhm.
Interject here, if I, Mark Joyce. So, yeah, we did get an email from Armando asking if we could ask for 3%, and our response to that was, when it's the same owner, we always ask for 25%. It's just common practice for us. But we agreed to ask for $2,500, which is a little bit less than 15%, which is what we would offer for a new owner. And that was offered prior to this meeting out in the hallway, and it was returned down. So that's why we're here at the hearing.
Okay.
May I ask, turned down, there's been no communication with the city but through me in the last 6 months.
Who did you?
No, he's talking about the conversation that we had in the hallway prior to hearing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the 2,500, yes, yeah.
All right. This is a 2021 case. The full balance on the lien amount is $18,400. Based on everything I've heard, I'm going to reduce that to $1,000. How much time do you reasonably need to pay that?
I'll need to check with my client, to be honest with you.
I think 6 months is sufficient.
All right, let's do
Put
6
6 months in order to pay the $1,000.
There's a copy of the order.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you.
Number 38625 Avenida Allegra, CE 2210068.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. Agenda item number 38, case number CE 2210068 for case address 625 Avenida Allegra. This case was originally cited in October of 2022. They were cited for having artificial turf that needed to be removed, visible trash can to the public that needed to be stored elsewhere, outdoor storage, and missing sod in the yard. This went to a special magistrate hearing February 1st of 2023. It was ordered for the fine to start as of April 3rd, 2023. This ran for 42 days at $100 a day for a total of $4,200 and was complied May 15th, 2023. This same owner, service was achieved by way of posting. Magistrate, we do have an agreement beforehand to reduce this fine to 25%, which is $1,050 payable within 90 days.
90?
Yes, sir.
So go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then just I want to make sure that what was represented on the record is what your understanding of the resolution is.
Carlos Menéndez Cuesta. He doesn't speak English, so
Carlos Menendez Cuesta.
that's his name.
Okay, I just want to make sure that he understands what's
He
going to
understands what's
happen.
going on.
I beg your pardon?
He understands what's going on.
So $1,050 to be paid in 90 days.
Yes, sir.
I think that's a reasonable resolution. I will ratify and approve that. And
He tried to get less, but it was not approved. Based on this other case, he probably should pay less than that, but
Well, I am not going to, if there's an agreement, I'm not going to stand in the way of that. And it's my understanding there's an agreement.
all right, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Here's a copy of the order.
Thank you.
Number 39, 512 49th Street, E CE 2208071.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, for agenda item number 39, case number CE 2208071, case address 512 49th Street. This case was originally cited in August of 2022. They were cited for fence and disrepair, garbage can placement in front of the public, grass needed to be cut, paint needed for the exterior of the structure, and outdoor storage. This case went to a special magistrate hearing October 19th of 2022. It was ordered for the fine to start as of November 9th, 2022. This ran for 84 days at $150 a day for a total of $12,600. This was complied February 1st, 2023. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting. This was done under the previous owner. This is the new owner here before us today, who has rehabbed the property. So Magistrate, we've agreed beforehand to reduce the fine to $1,000 payable within 30 days.
1,000 within 30 days?
1,000 within 30, yes, sir.
Sir, go ahead and tell me your name and address, and I just want to make sure you are in agreement with what was
Sure.
represented and understand how this will go.
Taylor Levy, 512 49th Street, West Palm Beach.
Yes, sir. $1,000 within 30 days is your understanding, and that's your agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's, I will ratify and approve that. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Here's a copy of your order behind you.
Thank you very much.
And lastly, number 40, 627 Bunker Road, CE 220800485. Oh, is no one here for
Agenda
that?
item number 40 would need to reschedule.
Rescheduled. Oh, awesome. Okay.
That's it.
So, I'm sorry, I
That's
was
the last one's rescheduled, so
rescheduled.
we're done.
I believe we've attended to everything on our agenda for today. Is there anything else for the good of the order before we adjourn our meeting? All right, it's 12:40 and we are adjourned.